Task 1A change number 3. Should the owner change by preparing a graph of the key numbers in the reports from the written information in the reports? So what she's proposing is taking, say, the income statement there, and rather than just presenting it as a report with numbers and words, why not turn it into a chart? So in this case, we could look at total sales of 22,000 as a column chart, and then look at the relative size of all the expenses. At the end, we could then put the net profit of $8,000, and that clearly shows where all our expenses have gone and how much of our sales are left at the end as net profit. Another option is you could look at that as a pie chart. You could express every expense as a percentage of sales. So for example, rent is $2,000. That's actually 9% of total sales. And we could do the same with all the expenses. And lastly, we could also look at the net profit and see as a percentage of the overall pie, net profit is going to be 36% left over. So what the question we're actually answering is, should this change to be using graphs instead of just a report being made, or should it not be made? And we're going to relate that to the qualitative characteristics of accounting. So we're going to argue in this case that it should be made, and the qualitative characteristic we're going to use to back us up is understandability. So defining understandability, it means information is understandable if users can comprehend its meaning easily. And it doesn't mean we need to exclude complex information, but basically we need to explain it in a manner that a user with reasonable knowledge of accounting would comprehend. So now we need to formulate an answer for 3 marks. So the first thing we're going to do is identify. So in this case, we'll identify the qualitative characteristic of understandability. We'll now define it. So in this case, just give a summary of the definition. The information in financial reports must be presented so that users can comprehend its meaning easily. And lastly, we need to relate this to the case study. That's why we have 3 marks. To get that last mark, we really need to get this theory back to the question at hand. So in this case, we're going to argue that the owner should make the change to prepare graphs of the key numbers in the reports. Why? Because presenting the information in a graph is more likely to be comprehended by the user than just having a written number in a statement. Looking at our 3 marks, we've got 1 for identifying, 1 for the definition, and 1 for relating.